Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 14 of Drawing for 100 Days. For those who are returning, I very much appreciate it. And for those who are coming for the first time, welcome. I'm drawing for 100 days, trying to keep it consistent. And I have been gone for quite some time. I'm just going to explain a little bit. I know it's a bit of an excuse. I don't really have anything to say. It's just life caught up with me. I got an injury. I got a bit of an infection. I had to take a bit of a break. I decided to focus on schooling over this series because that's really my highest priority. It's just a lot of stuff piled on me. But regardless, I apologize. I'm back, and I do. Even if I miss a day or two, even if I missed a couple days, I don't want to just give up on the series. I do actually want to draw and keep this channel alive. So even if the challenge is honestly kind of mute at this point, I'm still going to finish it all the way through, even if it means nothing. So I'm so glad for those who are watching and are clicking back again to watch this series, even though it's not exactly 100 consecutive days. I'm still going to push forward and do this. And for those joining, thank you. I appreciate it regardless. So I was actually trying to return for some context. I was actually going to return yesterday. I was going to upload a video yesterday. I even promised someone on my Discord server to say, hey, I'm going to post today or yesterday at 12 o'clock p.m. or 12 o'clock on the dot. And I didn't do that. And I'll explain why. Yesterday, to put it short, had one of the worst drawing days ever. And even though I should still post my failures, I don't know if it was because of pride, if it was because of ego, but I really didn't feel like posting a day that was only dedicated to essentially 4 failed drawings, or the 4 I saved. So for some context, these are the 4 drawings I drew yesterday. And in my opinion, they're pretty bad. They are quite awful. You guys know that I've been trying to paint backgrounds. And so going from the last drawing I did where the background looked quite phenomenal, in my opinion, like a good jump, to something like this felt like a really big hit to me. Like it really hurt me because I thought I was actually improving. And failures are the process of improving, and I did actually learn, like, eventually the next day, which is today. Eventually I woke up and I realized I actually did learn something from yesterday. But at the time, drawing 4 back-to-back pieces and all of them sucking, in my opinion, was just really detrimental, and it was really draining. And I just did not feel like uploading this. So yeah, I decided to forego it and not upload it, and I decided to try again today and produce something better so I would feel better. So I'm essentially just like cuddling myself because I was just too too fragile, I guess. But yeah, I drew this. It just wasn't good. I feel like the texture on the right hand side looks so ugly. It looks so ugly. It looks so messy. This over here was just too plain. It looked too stale and too stiff. I feel like there was not enough detail on the buildings, and I left it really boring. And even though I was trying to add details as I was painting, it used up a lot of mental process in order to come up with the detail on the fly. And so what I learned from these 2 drawings, at least, was that I need to plan out in a lot more detail prior about what I'm going to place here, what texture am I going to use, and overall just try a lot more on the initial idea, rough sketch, because if I rely on myself to apply the details afterwards, I'm not going to do very well. I'm going to constantly think about what I am going to do. I'm going to get lost up and confused, and I'm going to be drained by the end of it. So decided that backgrounds today weren't very good, and so I moved on to drawing this. But this felt too simple to post, so I decided to just go and draw a human character design. But then I failed 6 times on doing just the construction, and at that point, my ego was shattered. I didn't feel like drawing, and I gave up, and I was just going to be like, I'll upload tomorrow if I produce something better. And so today's actual drawing I have for you is this, which is so much better, which is like so much better. And to show you the difference between this and the actual final product is I took what I learned yesterday and actually applied it, where I made the initial sketch pretty detailed. Like, it's really close to the original, to the actual final output. And so I feel like I actually learned a lot from it. But sorry, I burped. But yesterday, man, did it feel like such a punch in the throat, knowing that I went from a pretty solid painting before that to what I'm considering utter trash. I really hate it. And maybe because I'm riding on the negative energy from yesterday, I just can't look at these without actually thinking these are just so bad. But let's just ignore that and talk about this. So today I decided that since yesterday's background drawings were so awful, I really wanted to log in for this one specifically. I really wanted it to look good. I really wanted it to be the best it can be. And so obviously I took what I learned from yesterday and said, let's just make the initial sketch as detailed as possible and follow a lot more references of buildings and adding essentially like these walls are super plain, super straightforward with very little bumps and edges and elevations and different changes in texture and stuff. And this was a lot different where I added a lot more like bumps and different and things popped out a little bit more. There were more like areas that pressed inwards, jutted outwards with a lot more texturing on the walls, like bricks and glass planes and a lot more of this. And it turned out just a lot better. And then when I eventually went for the final sketch, because it was planned out a lot better, I didn't have to think on the fly about what to add, what to put here, what to do, all that. I had it pre-planned, and by the end of the drawing, I didn't feel drained. I actually felt like I could do more. So that's just what I've learned. But yeah, I'm actually quite happy with how this turned out today, especially with, again, yesterday really was just a kick in the ass. But my plans for this drawing is that tomorrow I do want to try adding a character into this setting, because even though I can draw a background and I can draw a character separately, can I put them together without it making it look too awkward? Because that's what I struggled with before, where I would draw them separately, which I'm not sure if people actually do that, if they draw them separately or if they just draw them together, especially when you're painting versus when you're drawing. Because I can see if someone's drawing and sketching, they can do it separately and just put it into it later on, or but if a painter, I feel like a painter just does it all at once, where they actually paint the background with the character in mind already placed within it. But yeah, hopefully tomorrow I'll have a character sketch with it placed into the setting and it looking normal, like it doesn't look like it's just a sticker placed on top. Yeah, so that's the plan for tomorrow. I'm pretty happy with it. Again, much better than yesterday, and I hope you guys agree. So thank you for sitting here and listening to me rant and complain and talk and yap about really any straightforward process. But I appreciate it nonetheless. Thank you much for watching. I hope to see you guys tomorrow, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I'll try to recover any of my Shara ego. So, bye-bye.